Welcome to SSP TV Community News. I'm Lisa Sugart. Today, it is our honor to have with us our state representative from the 116th Legislative District, Dane Watro, who was recently sworn in for his second term in office in Harrisburg. Representative Watro, congratulations on a new term. Are you excited and raring to go?
Oh, I'm super excited. But Lisa, thank you and SSP TV for having me on here, having this opportunity just to talk with you, talk with the people. I am super excited. I get the butterflies, as I was saying earlier before going on here. My second term down there swearing in, I got the same butterflies as I got my very first term. And as I told my wife, as soon as those butterflies leave, it's time for me to pack it in and leave. But I just hope we're able to help people at such a great level in this position, and I hope to be around a while.
So now you've been appointed to some great committees, and this is only your second term, and you have some pretty impressive positions. So tell us about the role you're going to be playing.
Yeah, one of the top committees, well, they're all top committees to me, but Veterans Affairs and Emergency Preparedness is near and dear to my heart, being my time in the military in the United States Army. Emergency preparedness is super important. You talk about first responders, firefighters, they're all crucial positions here in the Commonwealth. They're clear across the country, and we got to make sure that they're properly funded and they have the equipment needed to go out and serve us. That's one of the committees. Education Committee, super important committee here in the Commonwealth. One of the biggest line item budget talks is education, so I'm hoping to see some good work continuing to get done there. And insurance is a big one, as well as appointed to that committee. And local government, near and dear to my heart, being a mayor for 8 years of McAdoo, I believe I can offer some good insight with local government. So I'm very excited to get to work.
When you're talking emergency preparedness, I mean, we're seeing how important that is, especially with what's happening in California right now. Do you think everybody's going to take a more focused look and make sure we're prepared for everything and anything?
Lisa, that's so funny you say that because firefighters, let's just talk about that.
Yeah. That's
a big, important issue. And just past Monday, I was at a meeting talking about how we could encourage our youth to get involved. You look around anymore, you're talking people in their later 40s, 50s, being the youngest person at a fire, fighting these fires. That's not good. It's not like it used to be where you would have children volunteering. And we got to figure out a way here as far as state legislature to encourage them to do so, incentives, something. But that's one of my priorities as well this year.
I was impressed and saw that your Army items, they are part of a House Archives exhibit. So tell us about that, how you feel about that.
I was very excited when they asked if I had anything that I would like to donate so they could put in an exhibit in the House Archives, and I gave them 2 items. One item was an armband that I wore for the entire year when I was stationed in Baghdad, Iraq, and the armband, it says MP on there, we all know that's military police, with our unit patch was the 89th Military Police Brigade, and based out of Fort Hood, Texas. With right underneath the patch was Arabic, explaining what that military police says. And one of my former soldiers that I served with reached out and said, "Hey, I can't believe this. I want to take a trip to Harrisburg and see this." So just being connected and having that honor of them putting that on display is emotional for me. The second thing is a CVC. That's a helmet that I used when I was on active duty, and that helmet I used in an M1A1 tank when I was a loader, a driver, and a gunner. So once again, they have that on display in a glass case there. It's an honor.
For anybody who doesn't know, you guarded Saddam Hussein. Like, we've done stories on this over the years. Like, you have an impressive background, and we're thankful for your, that you've served our country and what you've done to help protect us.
Yeah, Lisa, it's funny you just brought that up again, because my buddy I was just talking about that reached out and says, oh my, that's here. He said, "Do you believe we actually did that 20-some years ago?" It's like, no. I just can't believe it feels like yesterday. Something you just keep with you and in your mind.
And because you are, so close to the veterans in that, there are free assistance to the veterans at your office. You want to stress that as much as possible, too.
Lisa, thank you for bringing that up. We have a service officer from the American Legion, Bill McGovern, and I say his name because people need to remember it. Our veterans, he goes above and beyond. This man cares so much. He is also a veteran, and he cares to make sure that every veteran that walks in there, not even the veteran, that spouse of the veteran, the family of a veteran, that they're receiving the benefits that they need, whether if it's their service-connected disability, funeral benefits, whatever it is. I have never met a man so compassionate and caring than Bill McGovern from the American Legion Service Officer.
Wow. If anybody watching this needs any assistance with anything, how do they get in touch with your office? What do they do?
Just call my office. We'll get you on the calendar. He is about 4 weeks out, but that's okay. We'll get you on there, get you slotted. If somebody cancels, we'll move right down the list and get you in there. Service medals, veterans that have service-connected disabilities, or if you think you may have one service-connected, just call. We'll get you an appointment to see Mr. McGovern, and we'll get you on the path.
And you alluded to legislation. It involves cursive writing. I never thought I would see something like this, but it's amazing that children are not being taught how to sign their names anymore.
Lisa, I can't wrap my head around it. My two of my children, they know how to do it. They know how to write it and read it. One is 17, the other one is 25. However, in the curriculum, it's not in their cursive writing, and they're getting further and further and further away from it, where colleagues that I serve with are telling me that recently, just last week, they had them at an exhibit where cursive writing was, and that's identified my daughter, who's a teenager, cannot read cursive writing. So I asked for some support there, and I am very confident, and I'm going to knock on wood, and hopeful that this legislation, House Bill 17, will get across the finish line and signed by the governor. It's a very simple, it's not convoluted bill. It's a one-pager bill that says put cursive writing in the curriculum of the Department of Education and the superintendents to oversee it, to make sure that these children are being taught this. From here, I'm going to be having an interview with PCN called. They want to talk about this bill, House Bill 17, and I'm going to be on a full force, aggressive move with this. I'm looking for an endorsement from the PSEA on this bill. We can't be second best. We can't be behind different countries. We got to be leading and not making excuses. And I believe that this is super important. The fundamentals, if it's checkbook writing, balancing your checking savings account, whatever it is super important to bring back the basic foundations of what you were taught, what I was taught. And I believe this cursive bill is a good start to implementing here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.